What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Kernel. Today, I want to talk about being in a relationship with another fellow nerd or geek is so different from other relationships. The dynamic is so different. I'm not talking about you're a nerd and your partner is not a nerd or geek, right? I'm talking about you both equal levels, nerdy, geeky, right? It's real interesting. Relationships are really interesting, and so are the breakups. We're gonna go through the whole dynamic, starting with uh getting. Let's start happy, right? The relationships, right? It's so interesting because like the courting, it's so interesting because like the courting phase is like going out to like arcades or like pizza arcade, you know what I'm saying, or like a bookstore or going out to a convention. Like there's so many different little the leveling. Like it's so different, so interesting. You have your usual stuff like go out for dinner, stuff like that, picnics, whatever. But even those things can be themed to like a nerdy degree, and it's super interesting. It's like you have your own world, and it's really interesting, right? In my opinion, like it's super interesting, and you share so many things. You share so many things like for me, right? If for me and my girl, it would be like video games, movies, right? Sports, stuff like that. Like it'd be like real nerdy and geeky about those kind of things. So I want to go over some video games that I think are really great to play with your partner. For me, it would be games I would play with my girlfriend, right? So it takes two. I think it's like fellas, take notes here. I think so. 5 games. I'll just do 5 games. It takes two. I think that's a really good co-op game to play with your girl. Um, I think that this is a little old school for some people. I don't know how it is now, but back when I was in high school, I played on the computer. I think Minecraft would be a good game to play as a couple. I think that'll be a fun game. You want something a little bit more mature, something interesting, but still co-op. I think A Way Out, which is another co-op game, a prison break game kind of. It'd be interesting. And then you have like some co-op games like Resident Evil, if you like horror stuff like that. There's like the older Resident Evil games where you can do co-op, split screen, Halo series, like stuff like that would be really interesting. Or like a more narrative game like The Wolf Among Us, the Telltale Walking Dead series, like stuff like that would be interesting. Um, and also last like Mario Kart, like stuff like that, like games like those I think are good couple games, like games you can play as a couple, and you can really learn a lot about each other. I think playing games like that is a really good way to see different sides, like a competitive side of your partner, also critical thinking skills of your partner. How does your partner deal with like under stress, and not in a like negative way, like not in a way of like life or death stress situation, of course, like, but just stuff like I know some people like to go to what are those rooms called? Those rooms where you have to, like get out of the room. I forgot. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, but like, activities like that where you go into the room, there's clues, you have to like try to figure out a way to get out. And the reason why that's stressful is because you paid a lot of money to do that activity and you want to win. So it's like the edge of competitiveness with problem solving skills, with someone breathing down your neck, and then you also paid for it. So you don't want to just, you know what I mean? It's a lot. And I think video games are a little less intense because you paid the game because you enjoy it and you want to play it. And it's an experience, an ongoing experience. And it's just lower stakes, so you can really sit there and really enjoy it with your girl, or with your man, you know. So I think it's those are some games I would recommend to people, and they're games you can play with friends too. But this episode's about relationships, romantic relationships. But yeah, those so that's what's interesting, right? Something else I think is a lost art, man. Cause I was to my talking to a lot of the youngins, like nephews, stuff like that, and also my best friends' kids. I consider them nieces and nephews as well. Like I love all of them, right? So like we have these, I have discussion with their parents and then their kids. Like one of them is like 18 right now. So we have discussions about how they court, and it's so interesting because like I think something that's lost is even for my, especially for my dad's era, my brother's era, kind of died a little bit in my era. Excuse me. Also, if you hear me cough a lot, I allergies plus asthma equals death. So it's I'm struggling, but we're gonna get through this. Um, so sorry, I'm just letting you know. But so something about music, making a playlist for a girl was really interesting because now you have it where it's like everything is so like DM and cloak and dagger, and it's like, nah, I like when communication is a little bit more forward because yes, does it put you in a position where you can get more? It's like you're going out a little bit more out there. Yes. Does it open you to more rejection? Yes. But at the end of the day, that's still part of the process, regardless. Making a playlist for a girl, which should be easier now more than ever before, I feel like it's a lost art. I think it's a dying art. I heard people still do it, but a lot of the people in my life and my view of the world don't do it. So I feel like no one does it. I feel like that's really sad, man. I just feel like that's really sad. Like, hold on, let me get my phone. Let me let me let me find some of the songs that I would put on this joint, right? Can't play any of them for copyright reasons, but like just songs I would put off the rip. I'm on GNX right now. I'm just trying to see. I think Luther for sure is something I would put on. Yeah, Luther, Gloria. Oh no, well not Gloria, but Luther is definitely something I would put on. Um, There Goes My Baby by Usher is another song I'd put. I don't want to give up my whole playlist. Go on, I said this. You know, what I mean, I don't want to give out my secrets, but you know, just some songs. Love by Keisha Cole. Like, there's some songs I would put on. It's not even, and I'm not even always about the lyrics, but sometimes more about like the vibe. I like setting a vibe where it's like we can just chill, talk about the song. You know, I'm a very vibe person when it comes to playlists and things like that. Like I have a playlist for years. I have a playlist for like if I have a playlist for the year 2025, year 2024, 22. Like I have a playlist. I've always done that. I've done that since 2020. No, so I've done that since 2018. Um, I have a playlist for like love songs. I have a playlist for chill out and you know drink a beer songs or wine songs. I have a playlist for so many different vibes, events, stuff like that. Road trip playlist, all kind of stuff. So that's all that say. I think it's a dying art, man. Of there's so many different romantic gestures out there that I feel like we're just not hitting on anymore. It sucks. And again, it does put you out there. It's a lot of effort, but I feel like in a world where convenience and speed has taken over our livelihoods, there are certain things that take time, patience, love, and care. And part of it is the courting process of a partner. And I feel like we live in a world where it's because of Hinge and all these dating apps, it's just so boring and so robotic and it's just so I don't know, it feels so gimmicky. But sometimes like, man, it's just nice to be like, hey, I thought about you and here's a playlist I think you would really like. Or especially, hey, yo, gamer nerds, bro, there's nothing wrong with like, hey, on Steam or something, like if she has a Steam account or whatever, hey, there's this game I think you would really like, or hey, there's this game I think we would really enjoy playing. I bought it. If you ever want to come over, or if she has a console you can do online, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different ways. Like, hey, I bought this game, let's play together. There's so many different ways where you can court someone, and you can make it so interesting, bro. I'm telling you, the game is the game. There's so many ways, and I don't mean to say the game of love is in a negative connotation. I mean it like you don't have to make it boring. A lot of us choose to make it boring. A lot of us choose to not put effort in. But I promise you, The more effort you put in, it can be fun. It can be. We're so focused on the rejection and wasting time aspect because of how the world works right now. I feel like we just neglect some of the really cool things about knowing who you are and trying to get to know someone else and trying to build that life together. Like there's so many interesting ways to do this, especially as a nerd. I'm a huge nerd. I'm a geek, so that's just who I am, and that's just different things, right? Um, and I think it's just so interesting, bro. Like again, that's just put on game. And I know a lot of people are going to always go to like, oh, games are so expensive, bro. I'm not saying it has to be the newest $80 PS5 game, bro. It could be a indie game that's like on sale for like $10. It could be like even a game like, oh, what was that first? What was that title? Not Pulp Fiction. It was a Split Fiction where you not both people have to buy it. One person has to buy it, and the other person can still play with you without buying the game too. Like there's so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to make it expensive. You don't have to break the bank. But guess what? Everything's expensive, bro. Going to IMAX movie with someone, that's gonna cost you $50. And that's not even including snacks, drinks, all that shit. It's probably gonna run you almost $100. Now imagine you're doing movies and dinner. You're easily spending over $100. Like easily. So is there really a difference between that and then going spending 100 and something or like $60 on the video? You know what I mean? Like it's all excuses, bro. It's all excuses. We focus on so much negative shit. Or hell, even telling someone, hey, there's this band I really want to check out. We should go. I have 2 tickets. We should go. Are you interested in going? Like there's so many different ways you can go about it. And again, it doesn't have to be the fucking GNX tour or the Grand National tour. You know what I mean? It could be like just, hey, there's this local band at this local venue. Tickets are like $10 to $20 each. I got 2 tickets. Like, like there's so many different ways. It doesn't have, I feel like we always go to the extreme of everything. And granted, there are some people with expensive tastes, and that person is not for you then. Leave them alone. Go somewhere else. You know what I mean? But it's the effort. And if someone doesn't appreciate the effort, fuck them too. Seriously. Fuck them. If you're going to put the effort in and someone's not going to, if someone's going to waste your time, that's fair. Or if someone's like, hey, I'm not interested, they're not interested. Move on. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, but in the perfect world, you put the effort in, you do things like this, hopefully it pans out for you. That's really cool. That's a very strong, like for example, I'm really bored. That's why I hate online dating. I am so bored with like the steak dinner date every fucking time. Like, I'm bored with it. I get it, but I'm bored with it. I like the idea of like, hey, we both like arcades, or hey, we both like this and this. We should go do something we enjoy. We can still get to know each other doing different activities. We won't have to do the same fucking. You know what I mean? It's just boring. And with that being said, it's tough when you break up. It's tough to break up as geeks or nerds, man. A couple. It's tough. You can't go to conventions or stuff like that the same without being remind you. There's certain movies or anime or cartoons or stuff that you can't watch anymore. There's custody battles of consoles. Like, God forbid, y'all bought some consoles together. Ooh, who gets what? That's tough, man. You can't play certain video games without reminding you. Like, it gets tough, bro. It gets tough, broski. It gets tough, broski. You know what I mean? Like, it can get a certain type of way. You feel me? So it's out there, but yeah, I just think we lost the recipe though. Like, I really think we lost the recipe. There's so much direct communication that used to have to happen to make things happen that has been completely removed from the equation. So so people don't do it anymore. Right? So for like example, I was younger, yeah, we had like MySpace, Facebook, all that stuff. And we started the DMing era, we did. But there was still a little bit, and still mixed in with that early DM era, where it was like, hey, you got a girl's number on a piece of paper at school, and it was like the house number. and she gave you a certain time to call, but then she fucked up, didn't get to the phone first, and now you have to answer to her dad, mom, older brother, what, like just someone else answers the phone. It's like those growing pains, you know what I mean? Or like you're at school and you guys want to have some time to yourselves or whatever, or like hang out or after school or something. So you meet up at the local park, you know what I mean, and chill there, stuff like that. Like, or go to the local movie theaters. That's that. You know, that was your first day as like a teenager or whatever. You go to the movie theaters, you go to arcade, local arcade, stuff like that. Man, I'm telling you, bro, it's different, and there's a sense of innocence in that. Because first dates, no matter how old you are, is always going to be awkward. Because there's someone you really like, or at least are really attracted to, and you want them to like you just as much as you like them, and you're trying to court someone or whatever the case, like whether you were doing it when you're in high school or when you enter college, when you enter a full adulthood, it's all the same. It's really tough, man. And I'm someone too that personally, I put a lot of effort into the courting. I put a lot of effort into the communication, but I also like to feel the love as well. You feel me? Like I feel like if I'm putting the effort to, it'd be nice for the person I'm putting the effort to. Again, obviously, if they like you, to like you back, or reciprocating your feelings, to also put effort back in. Because one-sided effort, even if both parties are interested, is not attractive to me. It's not sexy to me. Um. So yeah, I don't know. It's just so interesting. Like that's something I talked about with my friend the other day. Like we were just chatting, and so, some of these topics is just like something that I saw online. Like I just got tired of seeing online, or like most topics are like something me and my friend talked about like over the years, and I just kind of remembered or whatever, and I kind of bring it to the pod. But yeah, like I feel like it's such an experience, man, to really put effort into dating. And that's just the courting phase. Also, I'm not just talking about the courting phase either. I'm talking also about the relationship itself. Like, bro, it's a beautiful thing to keep discovering. Like, again, I'm talking about from a nerd's perspective, nerd geek's perspective, so my perspective. Like, discovering new games together, playing story mode together, like watching your significant other play a game and taking turns, and or doing split screens and stuff like that. Like, there are so many ways to enjoy and just love games and or and relationships at the same time, and really grow and find and discover things together. It's such an interesting way. There's so many ways. It's not easy. I know it's easier said than done, of course, in terms of what I'm about to say. Of keeping romance interesting, of keeping relationships alive, keeping relationships long term. And it comes from a lot of effort on both parties, of course. But some of it is just not being afraid to discover new things, not being afraid to take that leap. And that's something I enjoyed over the years of my various relationships, is that taking that leap, whether it's like us discovering a new video game, us just discovering a new song or a new album, really want to have a listen party to. There's times, bro, like where I was like, yo, it'd be nice to like, oh, this album came out. I forgot what Kendrick out. No, it wasn't Mr. Morale. It was Damn. Yeah, it was Damn. And I asked this girl who also liked Kendrick. I was like, yo, excuse me, Kendrick's coming out. No, my bad. It was The Life of Pablo. Oh my god, how could I forget? It was The Life of Pablo. Bruh, yes. Okay, so The Life of Pablo came out. And I knew this girl was a Kanye West fan. Back again, Life of Pablo was just albums ago. It was like, what, 2016? What year? Probably 2016. I don't know. Something like that. And I was like, yo, we should go have a picnic and do like a listening party to this album. To this day, was one of the best dates I've ever had. One of the best dates ever. And I'm telling you, there are so many creative ways to have dates. Now, not everyone ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get real creative, and it's simple. Like a picnic with a music is simple. That the core of that date is very simple. What makes it complex, what makes it nice, is she is a Kanye West fan. She's excited for the album. I'm excited for the album release at the time. Picnic is really intimate settings, very one on one, enjoying nature, and I have a great spot that I'm not going to reveal in my state/city, but it's a spot that has never failed me in life. And by the way, I say this spot has never failed me. I say it as in I go to that spot to enjoy life. Like I go to the spot all the time by myself to enjoy life, get fit, stuff like that. So it's a spot like, you know what I mean? People who know me closely know what I'm talking about. Don't you dare reveal the spot. But yeah, it's a spot that many families go to. It's a very public spot, but like, man, I love this spot. And you just go there with a huge blanket. You go there with some good eats. You go there with a good speaker. The album came out. Boom, boom, boom. That Saturday was that was one of the best Saturday dates I've ever had, man. Just some we had some wine on deck, man. We had some snacks. We had the album playing, and it's just whoo. Yeah. Then when you hear that first Kendrick feature, you're like, oh, it was magical, man. There's moments like that when I'm talking about where that creativity pays off. I'm not in a relationship with this girl anymore, but I'm just saying, like, I do remember that time. And I don't take that as like, oh, I wasted my time on this girl. I take it as like, that was a good memory and a good time. It was part of my history, it's a part of my life. I enjoyed that time. And that creativity never dies in me. Like, I'm not one of those people that will recycle the same date. It's in my repertoire. Don't get me wrong. Every person has especially guys, fellas, you know this. We have our repertoire of date ideas because sometimes, bro, you just need to go in the tool bag. You just do. You need to go in your bag. Everybody has a bag of something. You need to go in your bag. But I like doing stuff like that or repeating stuff like that because not to chase that moment because you're not always going to get that same moment with someone. But it's like I like doing things like that because it really gets me to know the person. Like that kind of setting really was heavily discussion based. There was no really interference. Like we weren't really on our phones, right? Like it was just, hey, it's you, me, good eats, good music. Let's discuss life. We really discussed life. It was a great moment. And stuff like that you can get so creative with dates. And I just feel like sometimes we let our creativity die, and you shouldn't let it die like that. You shouldn't let it die like that, man. And I'm telling you, your partner or whoever you're trying to pursue is going to greatly appreciate you, man. Because I guarantee you, bro, they're going to be like, I've never been on a date like that before. And that is a big bonus for you. But yeah, man. And there's no people who are going to call that corny and cheesy or whatever. Or some people, again, not everyone's going to appreciate that. And everyone's going to be comfortable with it or appreciating, and that's fine too. But there are so many different ways to make life enjoyable, especially when it comes to pursuing partners or potential partners. Keeping romance alive, like doing certain things, like it's really about learning each other's mind, body, soul throughout the years, yada yada. But like, there's fun ways to do stuff, and I feel like sometimes, not just dating, but in life in general, we focus so much on how much work it's going to take and how much this is and that is that we completely forget, man, to be in the moment, soak it all in, and enjoy what we're doing. Like, really enjoy what we're doing. So don't take what I say as gospel. I just think it's something that's important, something that could be as a spiritual thing, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell me your thoughts. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts, or if you had any dates like that, or whatever the case may be. I mean, also, before I go, I've had a date, right, where I asked a girl, hey, we should go on a pic. Like, first of all, I love picnics. I don't just repeat that just to do it. I'll go on solo picnics. I don't give a shit. I love picnics. And if I love someone like that, I would love to enjoy that with some company, especially someone I want to be intimate with. She said a picnic was a very lazy idea. So not everyone's down with it, and that's okay. Like I said, I knew immediately she was not the one for me. I'm not gonna waste my time. Anyway, now I'll see you on the next one. Peace.